Hi, Adam here. Let's take a look at service types. And for my demo site, I've got a couple of service types here, desks and experiences. And for each service type that we create, we can give it a name, define some business rules, such as the commissions that are payable when people book or rent a particular service in that service type. We're also able to set the cancellation policy and booking settings per service type. For example, we can define how many hours before booking to cancel and a penalty fee that might be payable in the event of a cancellation. Also, the number of hours before unconfirmed reservation expires and the minimum booking of minutes. So, for example, if you're providing services that are charged by the hour but require a minimum of 2, 3, 4 hours for each booking, then it displays the hourly rate and it will display and only allow a minimum number of booking minutes for those listings. So once you've defined all of your various options for that particular service, you can go ahead and define the custom attributes that are related to that particular service. You can see that these are all listed out here. You'll have some defaults, but you can create new attributes. Let's take a look at an existing one. Let's look at description, for example. And you can see that some system fields are not editable, but certain other parts may well be. For example, we can define whether or not it's required, and that will do the JavaScript checking for us, and also the minimum and maximum length of a field. So let's say we wanted to make that 5,000 as a length for the description field and save that. Let's go to our live site and let's add a new listing. I'm going to go on Manage Desks and I'm going to add a new list item. Now specifically, we updated that particular custom attribute, which was the description. And you can see here we've got a 5,000 limit. So I can go ahead and type and it'll check and allow me to put in 5,000 characters. So let's go back and the description, edit. There's the label for it, desk description, maximum length, let's say 256. Save. Let's refresh this page and you'll notice that desk description has a 256 character limit. Now, other things that we can do with custom attributes, and let's just take a look at the service types again, custom attributes, and let's add a new attribute. We can create them ourselves. So let's give it a name. The convention for naming an attribute is to give it a field that are all lowercase and using underscores as spaces. The label, of course, we can give it whatever label we'd like to display to the end user. Let's call this field a budget field, and the label will be, what is your budget? Maybe this is a question that you want to ask for the types of listers that are listing. And we can then define the attribute type, an array, a string, integer, float, decimal, date, times, etc. So we'll just say that this is a string and what type of HTML tag it will use. Let's say it's a select, and we can put in placeholder text and prompts and default values, whether or not it's public, and in this case, yes, it will be. And now we're going to use a select box as our HTML, so we're going to put in some values, 1 to 2 million, 2 to 3 million, and a lot. Make it required, hit save, and I've just added a new field, budget. However, we need to make sure that this is going to be available on our forms that are displayed to capture that information. So again, under service types, we're working with a particular service and we have our form components now. And there's a couple of places where form components are valid. One is the first time listing form, which is called the Space Wizard, and then in the user dashboard, and that form is the transactable attributes. Again, we'll be changing the names of these to make them a little bit more comprehensible to users. But let's look at the first time listing form, and please tell us about the listing you're listing. So we'll edit that, and you'll see that I've already got some custom attributes available here. And if we go down to the new one that I've added, you'll see budget. I'll turn that on, save it. And now within the Space Wizard, the first time listing form, we will have that as a choice that we can select from. So now what we'll do is also edit the form relating to the user dashboard, also known as transactable attributes. And you'll see that as I scroll down, the new custom attribute that I created called budget isn't selected yet, but I'm going to do so and save. And if we go to the live site, and I'm going to go into one of my desks, manage desks, and in the user dashboard under my listings, we can go and take a look at the edit option. And if we take a look down here, what is your budget? 1 to 2 million, 2 to 4 million, 3 million, and a lot. So we've just created a new database field. We've made it a drop-down list, which is selectable, and we can then save. Great. Your listing details have been updated. Fantastic. And as I said, back in the form components area for your services, so service types, create custom attributes, go to your form components, specify which form components, whether it's the first time listing forms or the user dashboard forms, and you can then ensure that the relevant fields are activated. And you can also drag and drop to make sure the order of those fields are where you want them as well. And so that's a bit of an overview on service types. Creating new ones, of course, as easy as clicking new service type, defining custom attributes, which are like database fields in the database, and defining how and where they're laid out on the forms. Now you're probably wondering, how can I turn those forms on the listing views? And we'll go through that in the next tutorial.